Hi guys, in today's video, it's part one of us talking to our friends Laurie and Sod. We are having a real conversation about the journey of being a parent and raising kids in 2020.
Hi.
Hi.
We just want you guys to just introduce yourselves, your names, your kids, just so everybody can know who you are.
Okay. I'm Laurie. This is my husband.
Sodney. This is our daughter Zuri, and that's our son Nazir.
Nice to meet everybody. Hi guys.
Zuri's
And how old is Zuri?
Zuri's 2. She turned 2 in April.
And Nazir?
7 months now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good boy.
So I think we have a bunch of questions here, but I guess we could go right into our question with that. How has it been kids close together?
Well, how has it been with the kids close together?
Like,
Close in age.
Yeah,
Challenging, but I think what kind of keeps us going is the idea that they'll go through phases one after the other.
Kind of like
And
together.
you'll be done with the hardest part around the same time.
Yeah. That's what we're hoping. We haven't gotten much of a break.
No,
yet.
we're in the trenches right now, since we're at the terrible twos and curious infant stuff. So
Very active. Very active.
We can absolutely relate on that because that was Genesis and Hannah. I found out I was pregnant. I was pregnant with Hannah when Genesis was 6 months, going on 7 months. And then she literally felt like I had twins.
right.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like I have a set of twins. Just one is bigger and more active than the other. But
Yeah.
a lot of
I'm sorry. So my husband jumped the gun a little bit with just going straight into it. I wanted to first ask you guys, how did you meet?
on Instagram.
Through a mutual. So I know a lot of people from Sinai because I was heavily involved with my church in my youth department.
Mhm.
So I kind of went on this like church hopping journey and started going to different churches and stuff like that.
that's
But I
right.
never went to Laurie. I ended up making friends in Sinai.
Because I was at school.
I know, I remember.
So I made these friends in Sinai, and then I had them on Instagram. And then one of her friends that I knew, she posted like a throwback picture of just like her and a couple of her friends when they were like really young or whatever. So you're on Instagram, you're being nosy. So I just clicked on every individual person, like, oh, I wonder what they look like now. What do they look like today? And I came across Laurie's page, and then I was like, yo.
This is why I let him tell the story, because it always sounds better.
Wow. So
I like to hear it like 1,000 times. Like, yeah, go ahead. Tell the story.
yeah, I'm sure we did. So I messaged our mutual friend. Actually, I messaged another mutual friend because the person whose page I saw it on, I don't really speak with her, but I know her. Like when I see her, it's hello.
That wasn't like a comfortable situation, just like, hey, what's up, who that is?
Right. Plus, I don't want her knowing that I'm creeping on her page, looking at her.
Right.
So that's kind of like, how do you answer that? Like, what are you doing looking at my friends in the first place? Yeah, no.
Right.
So I hit up somebody that I knew really well that knew her, and I was like, listen, bro, you got to put me on. But he didn't answer me. He was taking a while because I hit him up. I sent him a text, but it was taking mad long to answer me. So I was like, all right. He probably took 2-3 minutes, but at the moment it felt like So I hit up another friend. So I was like, he's just taking forever. So I hit up somebody else, and I was like, yo, bro. I was like, it was a female. I was like, yo. I said, sis, who is she? You got to put me on. I need answers. And then immediately she was like, oh, yeah, son, I got you. That's my friend Laurie. I'm gonna hit her up. We go way back. She used to go to Sinai. I'm like, I bet. Like, do what you gotta do.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah. So then, she hit her up. She was like, hey, Laurie, there's this really cool guy I know named Sod, and he's interested. And I guess from her telling me the story, she's told me that at the time she just rolled her eyes and she was like, oh, another guy, like, oh my God, like, I'm not really trying to talk to anybody right now. But she was like, all right, well, let me just see his picture, and then here you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, not bad. I was like, oh, he's not bad. Sure. No, I'm kidding. I was like, okay, God. Okay, there's more to it than meets the eye, but so far so good. And
Right.
It was a definite attraction.
Awesome.
But then, so I asked.
And then we spoke, and then.
Now, before that happened, I asked her friend, get me her phone number. I'll call her myself, text her myself directly. And she was like, well, she said she wants you to DM her first before you guys can have a conversation.
Right. I'm
And I'm
not
like,
gonna give you my number. I don't and then you start
but
stalking.
I think we're old school, right?
That's
so
right.
it's like
That's
we
right.
get the phone number to communicate.
That's
If
right.
I'm in the DM, I feel
Yes.
like I'm on a line of dudes waiting to have a
That's
conversation.
right. That's
But-
right.
I don't want to wait online.
Can I feel comfortable
I
before I
asked
give
the
you my
bodyguard
number?
for permission to skip the line. Why do you now tell me to wait in line with the rest of the fellas? And here I am looking around like,
Don't put me in the queue. Don't put me in the queue.
Right, I'm waiting for my plug to get me all the way in, and here I am having my plug make me wait online. Like, what is this?
Well, good things come to those who wait.
So I waited online. I sent her a DM. She answered the message. We were having a conversation. Either way, it still led to her giving me the phone number. So I don't know why she played games to begin with. But I think the rest is history, kind of from there.
Yeah, we dated for a few months, and before we made it official, and we were boyfriend and girlfriend for like, I don't know, several months, close to a year, and then we ended up getting married.
Nice. So wait, so you were dating for a year and then you decided to get married?
No, less. I would say exclusively. We were dating for
Like 5-6 months.
no more than that. Don't play me.
How's that playing you?
It was like I think 8 months.
Mm.
Yeah.
But then both of you, the question I want to get to is, at that point, both you guys just knew that.
Yeah, we knew from before.
Yeah.
Like we knew a few months before. I was like, this is
it.
different. Yeah.
Awesome. And how many years has it been since you guys been married?
3?
Yeah.
3. Zuri's 2. Yeah.
3 years.
Okay. Awesome. So that's how you guys met. How'd you come up with your kids' names, Zuri and Nasir?
Okay, so
That was actually all me.
that was you, but it had to go through me through approval.
I named both kids.
Yes, he did. We
Good
wanted
job.
a name with meaning. And we both were going through a list, and he was reading out the list. So this is why he thinks that he picked out Zuri's name. We both agreed on
It
Zuri's
sounds
name
like you
because
said
it
I
had.
did the work, and you signed
I was
off on
pregnant.
the work I did.
Absolutely. You hit the tab, you read it on the screen, and I just had to sit back and listen and say, oh, you know what? This, go back. No.
Right. No. You read it out loud and it resonated to her.
Yes, and I said, what does it mean? We wanted a name with meaning, and Zuri essentially, we wanted to have an African name. We wanted to give our daughter an African name, so hence the Swahili the Swahili name Zuri means beautiful, and then he finished it off with Araya, which means a lion of God. So it
fits her nicely.
Yes, and Nasir is a little different, but it does have a very strong meaning. Nasir Cross, his godmother actually gave him the middle name. We gave her about 24 hours to come up with one after he was born.
You said Cross?
Cross with a K.
Okay.
And we gave her about 24 hours, his godmother, to come up with a name after he was born. And, you know, the criteria was that it had to be a name with meaning. So his name means luminous light and leader. So, yeah. So we have two children with powerful meanings with their names.
And it is. That's beautiful. I love it. Okay. So, did you always want kids? Why?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Oh, good.
I always wanted children. I felt like I was a super auntie. I was like,
you
God.
definitely are. You definitely are.
Yes, I definitely wanted children of my own, but I kind of, you know, because I didn't have that Mr. Right. Sorry. I didn't have the Mr. Right in my life for that. So I said, you know, is it really going to happen for me? You know, sometimes us women tend to have like these ideas that, you know, if I don't meet the guy, is this actually going to happen for me? And if it is, when? And am I going to be like Sarah?
We rush ourselves.
Exactly. But it happened, and sooner than I had expected. But you know, I was happy.
Awesome. So, what was your first reaction when you found out that you were pregnant with both? So,
who was that?
So
I think for her,
times,
just
Missouri.
I kind of just knew it. I'm a very like even peeled type of like emotional range. Like my emotional range is like really like this. So I wasn't surprised at first. I was the one who told her. I was like, "Yeah, you're pregnant," and she was like, "No, I'm not." I'm like,
"No, I'm not."
So okay, we'll just wait until you take the test, and then you'll find out for sure.
That was the same with Genesis. The same thing happened to Genesis. When we came back from, actually on our honeymoon, I started feeling changes, and everybody's like, "How did it happen so fast?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm not God." Like literally on the honeymoon, the smell of alcohol was making me sick, and I was asking Patrick, like, "Do you smell that? Do you smell that?" And he's like, "Smell what?" And I'm like, "The alcohol. Can you smell it?" And he's like, "No." So by the time we got home, like my body had already started changing, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in pain." And he's just like, "You're pregnant." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" No, I'm not. He's like, "Yes, you are." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." And he kept saying, "Yes, you are." And then when I went to the doctor, they were like, "Yeah, you're pregnant." And I just sat there, and like the first reaction was just like, "Okay, I just have to protect my baby." Like I literally just held my stomach, and the doctor was like, "Are you okay? Do you know what you want to do?" I was like, "I'm keeping it." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I was just like literally an emotion of just, I just have to protect him came over me. But he definitely was saying I was pregnant way before I even got like the "yes, you are."
I was just trying to get it in my head, prepare myself mentally.
You were trying to prepare yourself. And he knew what he was doing too. I wanted to wait. No? Okay. I wanted to wait a year at least.
Bro, it's never their fault. Don't worry. It's never their fault.
He knew what he was doing, okay?
It takes two to tango, but they weren't tangoing.
He had no control. No control. I wasn't telling you need to like this guy. Like, you want to wait a year? And he was like, yeah. We're going to wait a year. On the honeymoon.
Let me ask you guys this. For us, it's that we have our answer, but were both the kids planned or surprises?
None of them were planned. Both of them were not planned.
Surprise!
All 3 times.
Yeah. We have all 3 accidents, so just wanted to see if
my babies are not accidents. Don't listen.
Beautiful things happen by accident. Beautiful things happen by accident.
No. Hannah was probably the only one that we were like, because like I said, it happened so quickly.
She was on protection, and we were using protection.
With Hannah?
Yeah.
No. That was Genesis. Genesis, I was on birth control and I got pregnant. Hannah, we were not. And then I went on after that happened because it happened so fast. And we were just like, we were not ready for a whole nother person to take care of.
Right.
And Adam was just like, that was my rainbow baby. So I was just like, okay, it was a pleasant surprise. So I was just like, okay, I like it. But no, we didn't plan any of them either.
What kind of... Go ahead.
For me, 3 was It's an odd number. I just can't. We have both genders, so it's like, what am I gonna get?
It's good. You have a solid team. Yes.
I've got what I need. I've got my Serena Williams and I've got my Michael Jordan. Like, I'm straight.
That's it.
Like,
That's
the world is perfectly balanced for me.
it. That's it.
But this is coming from somebody who wanted 3.
Originally.
And I wanted 1. And look at that, we just met at 2.
Which means that we compromised as we should.
That is a nice compromise. Because I
Right.
wanted 4. And he wanted to stop at 1. But then we just stopped at 3.
Which means he gave up more than you. He gave up more than you. He sacrificed the
For real. I made the sacrifice.
Listen, like I said, none of them were planned, and Hannah was definitely a oh my gosh moment.
All right, guys, that was part 1. Come back next week for part 2.